can be used to. Thank you, Andrew. So I was going to say it's important that we understand the language and how it can be used for not just unifying, but also for commerce and many other things to bring people together. So finding common dialogues and language and words between us that we can understand together. I'm seeing Erwan actually has his hand up right now. Did you want to unmute yourself, Erwan?
Yes, Patrick, everyone can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it the same when we say Swahili language? Is it the same as Kiswahili? I wasn't really sure. Is that the one commonly said Swahili language? And
Yes,
also I was wondering, yeah, go ahead.
It's the same language, one word, Kiswahili, Swahili. So actually, yes, Kiswahili or Swahili is is the same.
Okay, so which one is people usually say? Swahili, the simpler way?
Actually, when we say Swahili, sometimes it may mean you are.
Oh. Okay, I missed that one. The second question is that I understand this is the most commonly used language.
Swahili or Swahili, because Swahili is the person who speaks Kiswahili. So, like other countries, we just say Swahili is one language.
My question is, second question is that I understand this is the most commonly used language. So if we use commerce or science technology and some other thing, trade, can we use Swahili as the common language throughout Africa? As the most common? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, actually, that's why there's this declaration by UNESCO that this language now has to become common in Africa and common in African nations, not only in African nations as well as worldwide, so that people could be able to communicate through this language, to be one language now over the continent or over I mean in most part of the globe.
Okay, so 100% in Africa will be able to speak Swahili.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Actually, I'd like to ask just a quick follow-up if there is actually a schedule or a plan to do this, to actually begin to roll out that curriculum across all countries of Africa. Is the African Union doing that sort of work to coordinate the education systems?
Well, actually, I couldn't hear you very well.
Apologies. I was asking if the African Union itself is coordinating this project to educate all people across Africa to learn Kiswahili.
All right. As I indicated, that this day was declared by United Nations, so I'm sure that I'd say the responsibility now of the United Nations and even those who actually the goodness is also under UNESCO. So this is one of the development partners in most of African countries in terms of education, and then I'm sure that they have a big role. They have played actually the big role in this thing. So yeah, I'm sure that what they are doing is what they discussed, where they discussed, but they discussed it to be the yes.
Okay, well, it would be good to know actually if that plan is being rolled out and how, and if we can somehow even incorporate some of that into the proposed Unity Garden learning centers as well. Not just, of course, on the African continent, but that potentially even delivering Kiswahili language training around the world through the Unity Gardens as part of the way that the world can begin to have conversations with Africans in a common language, where young people can begin learning that in our schools and really integrate Africa and all of the continent into the world trading and economy.
Yes, you're right. And then, as I said, even in Malawi, the government of Malawi, I'm sure the Minister of Education is also working on this, ensuring that there's this subject in the classes. Maybe, I don't know when, but probably not far from now, the curriculum will be reviewed by adding this subject as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think it's very important. I've not obviously learned any African languages myself, but I did learn a little bit of Chinese and Korean when I worked in those countries, and I think the language is very important to know at least a little bit of the basics. Damas, I'm seeing your hand is up.
Yes. Good evening. Good afternoon. Do you get me?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very happy, first of all, for celebration of this Kiswahili. This is my really not a vernacular, but my language here we are using. And it is taught from primary school up to secondary school. Then now there is a proposal from the Minister of Education to be the language to be taught even as a language for teaching subjects or whatever, the courses in the universities. In fact, Kiswahili has contributed a lot in African countries during the struggling for liberation. I remember in Tanzania was the center of all SADC countries when they were struggling for their freedom. So they were using Kiswahili. And like here in Dodoma, where I'm staying, it's just the nearest district, Kongwa. There was a center for ANC. In Morogoro also, there was a center for ANC fighters, and the Mozambican, Frelimo, and the other countries, like even Saralawi, that's from Mauritania, somewhere like that. So they were training in Kiswahili. And also to that, even during the formation or establishing the OAU by then, Kiswahili united in most of the countries in Africa. As Patrick said also, like in Kenya, Burundi, Rwanda, Tanzania, and the other countries, they joined together. Even in Angola were here also. The people from Angola were in Tanzania, Namibia, South Africa, and some would remain here. So that's why Tanzania was just leading other countries like from SADC. And also I remember there was a pact signed or agreement signed in SADC that the language will be Kiswahili, the main language for SADC people will be Kiswahili. So East Africa community, SADC, and the other countries are continuing joining and learning Swahili. In the world, global, if we talk global, like Japan, we know that they have some radios using Kiswahili. China, Russia even, I think so. I am not quite sure, but China, Japan, and the other European countries. BBC also, we have the program, the BBC, they talk Swahili, German, with Deutsche Welle. There is also Kiswahili used there. So the language Kiswahili, not the Swahili, Kiswahili, we call it Kiswahili, that's the language, is now, I think the time now to be used and to be celebrated because it joins us and we are proud of that. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Damas, so much. Yes. So I have only about 5 or 10 minutes at the most to be on this call. I have to get off a little bit early, but if there are any other comments or questions, especially for our guest speaker today, Patrick, the floor is still open.
Yeah, I think I have another observation from Malawi. There was a time I worked in Malawi, like the northern part of Malawi, Karonga, up to Mzuzu City, Nkota Bay, and Salma. All these are the districts bordering with Tanzania and Mozambique. These people, they speak, even in Rumpi, they speak Kiswahili.
Your audio is a little bit broken up there.
So I think in Kiswahili, we also, I mean, it's most spoken in northern part of Malawi. I'm quite sure, but nowadays, from Patrick, I think he can tell me if they're still speaking Kiswahili, because I remember they were speaking Kiswahili.
Yeah, yes, Damas. What you are saying is quite true, because I mentioned about the tribes like Tumbuka, Tonga, and then the other Nyakusha. These are people from northern Malawi, so they do speak Kiswahili, and also when the Swahili people comes to Malawi, more especially these business people from Tanzania, when they are coming to Malawi, they use northern part of Malawi. They are, as we have said, that it's a bordering district to from Malawi to Tanzania. So it's easy. And then they also doing the intermarriages there. You know, we have a lot of people who are marrying, getting married to Tanzania, and even Tanzania getting married to Malawi. So we are like one, we are speaking one language. I have so many Swahili people here down south, down southern Malawi there. They are doing businesses, speaking their own languages. We learn from them when they are doing businesses in Malawi. So yeah, Swahili is adopted actually here in Malawi from way back. Yeah, that is great. You are right.
Okay, thank you. Also from eastern part of Congo, from Furaha, I think you remember Furaha is presenting a project. From that area, they speak also Kiswahili, because we border them in Kigoma. We border with the Rwanda, Burundi, and Zaire, the Republic of Congo. So they have their own, I mean, they have the intonation, but they speak Kiswahili. They are doing business here in Tanzania, exporting, importing. So we are doing business. So we are intermingling with these people using Kiswahili. So nowadays, I think also DRC has joined East Africa. So we are expanding. We are expanding a lot, and this is going to be, because it has already signed that the main language for these people who are almost more than 200 million, they are going to use the same Kiswahili. So, fortunately, this is going to expand, because we are going to make business with other countries. We have Indians here, we have most of people from Asia, and in our universities, we have some students from Korea, from other countries, studying Kiswahili, coming here and getting some degrees of Kiswahili. So I think we are going to expand, and that is the right time, in fact, to be glad that our language is also one language of global. Thank you.
Actually, I
Thank
find
you.
it, the thoughts that went through my mind is that, yes, we absolutely should be learning Kiswahili here in the Americas as well. It sounds like we may be left behind if Koreans and Chinese and others are learning this language, but we are not.
Yeah, in Washington, you have radio. They also they use Kiswahili. We listen some news from Washington D.C. So it's the high time now, Mr. Lloyd, to get in touch with these people and start learning. We can send you some pamphlets and you can enjoy it. It's a good language, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we should perhaps leverage our network and the groups we're creating, the languages group, to begin perhaps engaging with educators who are in Swahili, in Kiswahili, so we can perhaps even offer some language courses to our members who are not from Africa, and even in other countries of Africa who may not be speaking Kiswahili at this point.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. We can volunteer. We know Swahili, we can volunteer. Just even once you visit Tanzania, you should not get it tough to ask even for water. So I think we should start learning immediately this language, and I can volunteer myself also if there is a time we can have some short courses through these networks.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the reason that many of these countries like China, South Korean study Swahili is because it's easy to study, easy language to learn, or is it because their business?
It's usually because of business, for sure. I mean, I was encouraged so many times to learn Chinese, to learn Korean, when I was traveling and working there.
Yes. I just want to make a suggestion. We talked last Wednesday in the session we have that we trying to connect school from Canada or with maybe one of them can be chosen Malawi, where maybe the high school or first year college can interact with the Canadian. So maybe the Swahili can be used as a middle platform for either one learning about Swahili, on the other side maybe teaching Swahili on one side. So I think this will be a good way to initiate this effort, where maybe a group of high school, graduating high school, for example, with a group of high school in Malawi, connect as a sister school, and then the Swahili language as a mean of communicating. And so from Canada, maybe learning about Swahili, and probably from Malawi teaching about Swahili. So this will be good for friendship type relationship, and then maybe a good fostering a good program. So I think maybe Stephanie maybe can comment on this one. Thank you.
I see Puff has her hand up. I'm going to have to actually jump off the call right now. My wife has finished her work early, so I'm going to ask if Andrew could continue perhaps being the host with us if he's not on another call at the same time. But I do
Lloyd,
need to jump
hopefully
off.
you read my note in the thing, because my comment is real simple. In the diaspora, we use the Swahili words in Kwanzaa. So just an FYI, if you have schools there that acknowledge that the words, the Nguzo Saba, 7 principles, they're all Swahili.
Oh, okay. So that's very good to know as well. So I actually am hoping that, as Erwan suggested, that we will have people like Stephanie to step forward, perhaps as a student of the University of Toronto, perhaps to approach the university and if they have a faculty of languages, I'm not sure exactly on the structure of the university, but to see if we can engage with our, not just universities and colleges, but even at the younger ages, as Erwan suggested, some connecting some of the schools in the local high schools, public schools, lower level grades. So again, I need to jump off the call. So unfortunately, people can continue, but I will be scolded if I'm late. So thank you all for another great event. I'm just going to be stepping.